The Copilot app is here. It's had some updates. I want to talk about the updates. That's the key thing. It came out about 3 or 4 weeks ago. It came to iOS, it came to Android devices, and there were 1 or 2 limitations from an organization point of view. You couldn't log in with your work and school account. That meant that actually all that information that was being given to the AI was being used to actually train the models further. Microsoft are learning about the prompts, and this is what OpenAI, AWS, all these different large language models are doing, is consuming this information to make their models better. Microsoft's commitment, and they made this at the Inspire conference, that with the release of BingChat, as it was previously called, now called Copilot, when you log in with a work and school account, a Microsoft Entra account, that data is not being used to be able to go off and train any models. This is what we need. And this is the update that we've now got for the Microsoft app. You now have the ability to be able to log in with Microsoft Entra accounts. Let's do a bit more of a deep dive. Let's get stuck in. As you can kind of see here through the video from Microsoft, this is the Copilot app working on both an Android device and also on iOS. We've got so many features here that actually help with this. And it's great that we can go in and we can change the tone. We can ask it to be more creative and have maybe more hallucinations than less. We can go in, we can actually ask it to create images through DALL-E 3. We can ask it to use GPT-4 as an example. So there are lots of different things that we can actually do as part of the app. And I would recommend that you do download it. You go and play with it, play with your personal account, get it to create stories for bedtime for kids, get it to create those images based on the unicorn that it's describing as part of that story. Just an example of what I do with my kids. But the important thing here is that actually we start thinking a bit more around where does it sit from these different apps that we've got. And if you've not seen my video about Copilot, there's a link up the top. But as you can kind of see here, we've kind of got 4 different Copilots. And the app kind of kicks in a little bit more, and you can kind of see how it splits out. We've got the personal side, we've got that organizational side. That's where we're logging in with the Microsoft account on that personal point of view. And we've also got the organization. When the app was first released, this is where we only had it in limited places. So we had it for that Copilot Personal. Copilot Pro wasn't even announced, hence why it's blank there. But then we couldn't log in with our organization's account. It just said, you can't log in. It's not the capability to be able to do that. So we didn't have that web and that Copilot work, the Microsoft Copilot Studio feature that is there. The updates have now come in, which means that we can use it from a Copilot personal point of view and from that organizational kind of side of things. We don't see anything yet around the Copilot for work and that Microsoft Copilot Studio. And I'll be honest with you, I haven't seen anything yet to say whether it works with GPTs within Pro. I'm sure it will in the future. I just don't know. But what I do know is you can log in with those accounts and you can start to use it. Obviously, a key important thing. Having spoke to CIOs, heads of information security, people who look after data protection, there has always been a nervousness about using AI with personal accounts. And unless somebody steps up and offers a organizational based AI, we just don't necessarily want them using it. That's where Microsoft stepped up. They announced BingChat Enterprise, as it was previously called, now called Copilot, and they offer this element of a commercial data protection when you are logged in with that Microsoft Entra, that work and school accounts. Azure AD had many different names, but you can kind of see here just now, as it says, yes, we can log in with our organization account, and yes, we can still have that commercial data protection. Now, I think there's an important part of all this is that you need to demonstrate to users about how do they know if they're logged in with a personal account or with an organization one. And with that, what we have is, I'm just bringing a screenshot up here, this bit in the top right hand corner. And you can see that it says protected. And this is really key. This element of it being able to actually show that to a user, when I'm logged in with Copilot, it's all about protected. You can sort of see there, it says at the bottom as well, your personal company data are protected in this chat. If I logged in with a Microsoft personal account, I don't get this. if I'm logged in with a Microsoft Entra account into my Windows 11 with a 23H2 build and I get Copilot down the right hand side, I see protected at the top right hand side. Protected, protected, protected. It's a really key thing as part of your adoption to keep your data secure. It's in the mobile app. As you can kind of see here, we've got personal down the left side, organization. Let me make it a little bit bigger for you just to be able to see if you're on a smaller device. But that personal, I don't have the protected. You can see how it's hardly any change. The only difference here is the fact that you've got protected at the top and it says there at the bottom, your personal and company data are protected in this chat. A really key thing as part of all of these different elements towards our AI, certainly in the organization, who can use it, where can they use it, and how are they still protected to be able to ensure that if they put commercially sensitive data into AI, that it's not being used, not being leaked or anything like that. So not a big change, but certainly a lot of relevance that comes now to be able to bring the mobile workforce in to be able to use AI while they are on the go. Now you do need a license, let's not forget that. That comes as part of your Microsoft 365 license, or you can buy it as an individual SKU. But having AI inside your organization is great. Make sure you don't have any data protection issues and people can see, and you've trained them to be able to see that green protected, whether they're inside of the app or in other locations, to ensure that your data is protected inside of Microsoft Copilot.